If I were to ask you what made Nintendo successful, a lot of people would say Mario, or maybe Pokemon or the Zelda games, and you're right about that. But what if I told you Mario and other Nintendo games only existed because of this company? Let me explain. Nintendo was founded in 1889 by Fujijiro Yamauchi, and his business produced and sold Nintendo playing cards. I highly recommend watching How History Works YouTube video to get more information and a better understanding of the history of Nintendo. Anyways, for the longest time, Nintendo only sold playing cards for several decades. It wasn't until this man, Hiroshi Yamauchi, took over the Nintendo business after his grandfather suffered from a stroke. Yamauchi decided that he wanted to expand on the Nintendo trading card business. In 1958, he met up with the Disney Corporation and struck a deal with them to use Disney characters on Nintendo's playing cards. This was perfect timing. A few years ago, Disney recently opened its doors for an amusement park and made 5 really popular animated movies in the 1950s. This was good news for Nintendo that Disney is getting more popular. Word spread around and people in Japan started buying the Nintendo Disney character playing cards. Nintendo was able to sell over 600,000 card packs in a single year. In 1962, Yamauchi took Nintendo public on the stock exchange, listing the company in Osaka Stock Exchange 2nd Division. And a year later, Yamauchi renamed Nintendo Playing Card Company to just Nintendo. With all this extra money Nintendo has made from the playing cards, Yamauchi wanted to expand the business to other products. Nintendo was involved in the food industry selling instant rice. Nintendo was also involved in the taxi industry as well. It was called Nintendo Transportation, which operated a fleet of taxis in Kyoto and other cities in Japan. The taxis were painted in a distinctive red and white ivory, but Nintendo eventually withdrew from the taxi business in the mid-70s due to a lot of competition and major expenses involved. Unfortunately, in the mid-1960s, people were starting to buy less and less Nintendo cards, and Nintendo's stock price went from 900 yen to 60 yen. But something important happened. In 1965, 24-year-old Gunpei Yokoi was hired as a maintenance engineer for assembly line, and he came up with a toy design called Ultra Hand, and it became instantly popular around the holiday season and sold many units. Yamauchi saw potential in Gunpei and was later promoted to full-time product development. After Gunpei's promotion, he released a bunch of toy products, which includes the Nintendo Ultra Machine, a game that involves launching softballs that needed to be hit with a plastic baseball bat. I'm sure the parents are going to love that. And Love Tester Game, a device that determines how much two people love each other. These products made Nintendo even more rich, but in 1972, the very first game console, the Magnavox Odyssey, arrived in the market, and Nintendo helped the console out with producing a light gun. This was the very first involvement of Nintendo in video games. And later on, Gunpei was involved in making the Game & Watch series, the Game Boy. He also invented the control pad, or D-pad, and also created and produced Metroid and Kid Icarus. That's great and all, but what does that have to do with Disney? Well, if it wasn't for Disney making that deal with Nintendo by letting all the Disney characters on these playing cards, then maybe Nintendo wouldn't have made enough money to venture out into the video game industry. But that's just my opinion. Do you agree or disagree in the early years Disney had played a big role in shaping the way Nintendo is as of right now? Or was it something else? Let me know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.